how did you go about ensuring authenticity?
Sure, with these cards, the provenance is key. So knowing where these cards came from, directly from basically the people who started Pokemon TCG. It's really fascinating stuff. This is the kind of thing that you can't get from a pack. So this is the kind of stuff that was supposed to be buried away, forgotten about, never seen again. And fortunately for collectors, this stuff's coming to light now. Magic has all this cool esoteric stuff. Well, now we're starting to see a lot of the cool stuff from Pokemon. So, and to be able to handle them personally and talking with some of the people that were, in the beginning of Pokemon TCG to get their authenticity verified, and just basically just doing everything we can to ensure a viable product to make sure that these things can be bought with confidence.
You serious?
I've taken a number of months to really make sure that one, they're authentic. I think every collector wants to know, hey, are these real? And then two, why are they in such good condition? Are they play tests? Are they prototypes? Why do they look so good? And then also, why are they coming out now? It doesn't really make sense. And so I think there's a lot of people that are very hesitant and incredibly speculative of hey, if you're gonna spend thousands of dollars on a card, why this? These are all coming from Akabane, one of the founders of the Pokemon trading card game as we know.
What's going on, Bruce?
The Pokemon Cabal and CGC. The Pokemon Cabal and CGC have been scammed on a level.
Scale hitherto undreamt of.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, before we begin, I just want to apologize in advance. This upload on this topic matter, although the topic is very serious, due to the sheer amount of other content creators that have already made videos on the subject, national news is getting a hold of this. This is becoming a massive deal right here and now, and we are only getting started. However, for this upload, I'm going to maintain a high energy disposition. I'm not going to be solemn. I'm not going to feel sorry for anybody. I'm just going to tell you it like it is. Now, over the last 48 hours, the amount of people that we all know that I know Rusty, okay? Yes, I talked to Rusty quite a lot today and last night. I will get to that. I will even show you messages that he has sent me. Is the number one person people are going to right now for answers. Why? Because he's the most transparent. He's the only one currently making YouTube videos. He's the only one you could actually get a hold of that might know something about what's going on. And of course, he is the one who famously spent $90,000 between two cards when this all started at Worlds in September. Worlds in September is absolutely something we are going to talk about as well as Takumi Akabane's nephew or grandson, Kimura Yasuke. So Kimura Yasuke, a guy going around in Hawaii at Worlds trying to convince people that the shit he has is real and get hundreds of thousands of dollars from people left and right at Hawaii at Worlds. We're going to talk about him because I believe, at the very least, if not Takumi Akabane, his nephew, or I guess he was telling some people he was Akabane's nephew that weekend, and he was telling other people that he was Akabane's grandson. Like, he told Rusty that he was Akabane's grandson and he was representing Akabane. He told other people that he was his nephew. So there's a red flag right there. Definitely going to talk about that. Takumi Akabane, one of the three original creators of Pokemon TCG, not Pokemon. It is still very much in the air if he is actually the ringleader or if Kimura Yasuke or a handful of individuals underneath him are the ones convincing him to sign these counterfeit items, we'll just call it, okay? These playtest cards. So, is he culpable? Is his nephew or grandson culpable? I think by now the writing is very much on the wall. And to be honest, guys, there's more people that have a lot of questions to answer. Starting with this guy, who you might actually already know is one of Rusty's best friends, okay? So in this upload, we are going to look at some very embarrassing articles. We're going to look at a very embarrassing CGC article just from September. We are going to look This asshole who I was going to cover this guy quite a lot, but then Rattle did a pretty good job of it earlier today. Thank you, Rattle, for covering Zhao. You could do a better job covering Zhao. I mean, this guy is an absolute joke, just like written right there on the screen. But this is an example real quick. I'll just cover this guy. Let's just start here. There is a massive amount of money in China and Japan, probably everywhere, but I'm just going to refer to in China and Japan, where singular human beings such as this guy, Zhao, or entire criminal organizations, all they do, literally, all they do is make counterfeit grail pieces like trophy Pikachus or uncut sheets of this. They make counterfeit slabs. They even cut real PSA slabs open, pull out the Gem Mint 10, put in an 8 or a 9, reseal it so it has a real seal, a real card, a real slab, and then sell it as a 10, and then rinse and repeat. You name it, people like this exist, and some of them are very brazen. But again, Rattle did a great job on Zhao, and I'm just mainly going to talk about TCA gaming and all that. But right here, Zach Gem freaking Mint Pokemon, this guy. So first of all, he is not speaking right now because I'm assuming his lawyer is telling him to keep his mouth shut. Maybe by Monday, Zach Browning will speak up. Maybe he won't. But as of right now, Zach Browning isn't even talking to people like TCA Gaming. He is not talking to anybody. And let's see why. Let's see why Zach Gem Mint Pokemon isn't really talking to anybody right now. Let's go ahead and watch a couple clips here.
As the name is misspelled in the bottom right hand corner of the card. These have received wild speculation, and at this point what we're trying to do is really just tell the story, try to tell kind of where these are from, help give collectors confidence in the authenticity of these cards, the rigorous sort of efforts that CGC went through, as well as myself, as well as others in the hobby. And I think it's important for the collecting community to have these. I think it's important for them to be preserved. I think it's really important that we kind of give these the respect that sort of they deserve for the hobby. And I've been in really constant communication with Takumi Akabane's team. He has essentially a few different brokers that he goes out with that sell these cards to the world, and anything through them has been deemed authentic, by CGC, through
authentic.
Akabane confirming directly, through numerous conversations with the grading company and Akabane himself. And so, I've handled multiple sets of these raw. Getting them graded was
Wow. And the worst part is it really doesn't stop there.
I've taken a number of months to really make sure that, one, they're authentic. I think every collector wants to know,
really?
Hey, are these real?
Really,
And then two,
really?
Why are they in such good condition? Are they play tests? Are they prototypes? Why do they look so good? And then also, why are they coming out now?
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense.
Question,
and so
Zach. Good
I think there's a lot of people
question.
that are very hesitant and incredibly speculative of hey, if you're going to spend thousands of dollars on a card, why this? These are all coming from Akabane, one of the founders of the Pokemon trading card game as we know, Pokemon itself, and that there are several versions of these sets that have been released. There's a black and white version that's on thicker cardstock, that's more of the sprites. You have the alpha version that is the base set, artworks, and then you have the beta version, which is what we have here, which is another iteration of Kin Sugimori artworks. But again, the goal wasn't to sell these. The goal wasn't to market these. The goal wasn't to put these in a pack and let you rip it out. These are internal things from creatures, that were part of the design, that were part of how it got to where it is. There are other versions of these. There are versions of this card where there are slight differences. It was over time. And so my feeling is that it's time for the community, it's time for the hobby to have these in a way that they can believe in. I put my name behind it.
Put your name behind it, Zach.
I think these are real from
just
the source.
Like CGC.
And
Good
that
job.
I want you to feel like you're truly buying a prototype. I've taken
All right, so
a
there you
number of
go.
months.
So, needless to say, this looks really bad for Zach Gem and Pokemon. I think it goes without saying that best case scenario, this guy's online reputation is absolutely ruined. Worst case scenario, this guy is in a serious amount of legal trouble, obviously along with CGC. It's unfortunate because we're going to look at the little pyramid scheme, the Ponzi scheme, if you will, and I believe he is lower enough on the Ponzi scheme to where he was completely duped, just like Rusty, just like CGC. Basically, everyone here in America, I believe, was duped. I do not believe anyone here on like the Western Hemisphere has anything to do or played a role in the actual scamming itself. So real quick, we're gonna go over to Wataru_Pokemon, and we're gonna look at this right here. So basically what you see here, you see Takumi Akabane right there with my cursor, and you see some stuff at the top and you see some stuff going down. What I am here to tell you is the stuff only at the very, very tippy top is real, and everything basically from Takumi Akabane's head on down is fake. So basically, we're gonna go over here real quick. I'm gonna bounce around. So in 2022, these right here, and look very closely at how sharp the Pocket Monster font is. Look at the back of these cards, how sharp the font is on the back of these cards. Look at the grades, 5.5, 7.5, 7.5. These were sold in 2022, and PFM, Pokemon Flying Monster, a lot of you probably heard of him over the last couple days, he has guaranteed that these were Xerox from 1996, unlike all these, by the way, we're talking 1,700 since, when was it? 6/29/2024. It started out as a handful that they were showing at Worlds, a couple private sales. 4 months later, 1,700 variations of alpha and beta bullshit cards have entered the market in 2024. Even right now, this week, some of them are being bidded on golden auctions on eBay for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. A Charizard sold for like $50,000 3 weeks ago. Okay? What I'm trying to tell you is on this organization chart here, any prototype sold before 2022, like say these right here, these are real. These are legit. Any prototype card that showed up in the year 2024, all 1,700 of them, they're fucking fake. All of them. To the extent we're talking about 1,700 just worthless pieces of paper that Akabane pooped out of his asshole out of nowhere in June of this year, hit the market totaling $5 million plus in sales on various platforms such as Golden, eBay, yada yada yada. Okay, so Russell Oakley let me know that in Hawaii, there's 2 people on this list that were in Hawaii posing as either family members of Takumi Akabane, again, telling one person one story, another person the other story, and it's Kumara Yasuke and Hiroshi Iwahashi. These 2 individuals, this guy and this guy, were in Hawaii talking to people like Zach, talking to CGC, talking to Rusty, trying to get deals left and right. This guy, Kumara Yasuke, is the one who sold the 2 prototype cards to Rusty for $90,000. Kimura Yasuke. I can promise you, straight from Rusty's mouth, this is the guy. Him, Kimura Yasuke. A guy who claimed to be Akabane's grandson to Rusty and nephew to others. Okay? So Zach, Gem Mint Pokemon, comes into this way down here at Worlds. Way down here at Worlds, I don't know if it was Kumura Yasuke, Takumi Akabane, CGC. I don't know who decided, hey, Zach, you need to be the poster child. We want to hire you to pump all this stuff. We want to put your face on this. We want to put your guarantee on this, Zach Gem and Pokemon. We want you to make the Instagram reels showing everyone how cool and authentic these cards are, and even get your own buddy Rusty to drop $100 fucking grand on them. Zach, we're waiting for answers. Please, the sooner the better. Zach Gem Mint Pokemon. I now want to talk about a word that wealthy people, rich people love to throw around, and it's provenance. 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 Provenance is a word that is used in place of proof for a reason. The reason we like to say provenance is because we want to legitify paying a bunch of money for something that's most likely worthless. It just has a story accompanying it. But it doesn't have proof, therefore it has provenance. Yeah. Provenance, baby. Provenance will get you fucked. In this day and age, 2025 Pokemon TCG, my god, provenance is no longer a thing. Provenance, the synonym for provenance is scam, okay? So, I am going to wrap it up, but here's the overarching things you need to take away. First of all, I'm going to show you exactly to a T what Rusty has told me about this whole situation this afternoon. And again, he has posted a video, and I believe he is live right now talking about that. So, first of all, here is what Rusty told me. I cannot speak for Zach personally, but he may make a statement. If his lawyers tell him to do something else, though, I would be following that if it were me. There is no need to feel sorry for me. I was in the moment with who I thought was a direct relative of an original creator at the Pokemon World Championships, looking at the first cards that ever created the game. I took a chance, knowing the risk, and may have easily bitten off a rotten apple. I have taken many other risks in the past, and usually they work out. This one just likely did not. With hindsight, I would not do it again, but without it, meaning hindsight, I would probably end up in the same situation. Okay, so basically what Rusty's saying is he took a chance and he got burned. Taking chances in the past is how Rusty became Rusty. For those of you that don't know, my most viewed video ever is me crawling around in Rusty's attic filming some of the most valuable, impressive uncut sheets in Pokemon TCG history. These prototypes do exist. There is a handful of them. And again, they have been confirmed to be legitimate right here. So, okay, decoder, blah, 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 the 1700 from 2024, everything is fake. This is the biggest scam in Pokemon card history. It is all based off the success and the amount of money that these guys generated a few years ago. Okay? The amount of money, the amount of interest these guys generated caused these guys, Takumi Akabane, some asshole named Kumura Yasuke, who's just lying through his teeth to people at Worlds like Zach, like TCA, like CGC. This criminal ring spawned because of a couple sales way up here at the top a couple years ago. Okay? This is all a giant scam. Hold on. Let me just go back here. For the foreseeable future, no one should buy anything Pokemon TCG like extracurricular related. Anything that's an oddity that seems too good to be true. Oh, this came out of this from this person who knew this and it was in their basement. No, it's fake. This is people on the Eastern Hemisphere scamming people on the Western Hemisphere successfully. Okay? That's what this is. This is literally a rogue scenario where either a guy who used to have good intentions is now making bank, or a team of younger people around him who are taking the reins of this scam, this criminal ring, if you will. This is multi-millions of dollars. This is serious. CGC, best case scenario, is absolutely cooked. Best case scenario, CGC pays out $5 to $10 million to a ton of different people and slowly but surely circles the drain and dies now. Okay? Worst case scenario, CGC is done. Seriously. Zach, Gem Mint Pokemon. Best case scenario, your online reputation is cooked forever. You are now an ex-Cabal member. Sorry. Worst case scenario, you're legally fucked and in a lot of trouble. I really hope that's not the case. And again, Anyone who feels sorry for Rusty that he spent $90,000 on 2 fake pieces of toilet paper, essentially, just don't, okay? Because look, if you think your Pokemon card collection has grown immensely over the past month or two, I am telling you that Russell Oakley, you think $90,000 is a lot of money, his overall collection has probably grown $90,000 since 9 a.m., okay? Do not feel bad for Rusty, and in fact, you should be mad at Rusty, and this is why. When people like Rusty, you know, the poster childs of the Cabal members, when people like Zach Gemmett fucking Pokemon go on their Instagram championing this shit, what it does is a couple months later, once more and more of these copies show up, you know, 1,700, and they get to the point where some of the less desirable ones are $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Now you're not talking whales, you're not even talking baby belugas. You're talking average everyday collectors, and yes, there are stories of people who sold off their entire collections just to afford one like $2,000 fucking oddish that is worth absolutely nothing now. So what I'm saying is, when people like Rusty take these huge risks on these oddities, that gives the average collector, the much smaller collector, confidence to also buy these oddities. And we are in a day and age where oddities that are fake are being pumped out of China and Japan on a scale
hitherto undreamt of.
So, for Rusty's sake, for everyone that cares about Pokemon's sake, one, CGC, they said they were going to release a statement today. It doesn't look like it happened. Maybe tomorrow CGC will start saying some shit. Zach Gemmett's Pokemon, CGC, Akabane himself. Somebody needs to start answering questions now. Either way, they are all fucked. Seriously. Do not buy anything unless it is clearly a Wizards of the Coast or a Pokemon TCG product. Don't even worry about oddities right now. The risk is way too high. Any Beta, Alpha, Zeta, Charlie fucking card that showed up after the year 2022
Is fucking fake.
Alright, so for those of you who are just wondering who the hell won the Roaring Moon from last week, I will announce that on Hottest Cards of the Week this Friday. I'm sorry, this was just way too important. And again, please everyone, go check out that Zhao guy on Instagram, see what he's about, and make some judgment calls for yourself. Definitely go check out Rusty TCA Gaming. He has not only one long-form video, I believe he is live right now answering all the questions he can about this. Either way, Zach Gemmett Pokemon, you better speak up, and you better speak up now, because everyone is wondering what the hell you're doing, bro. Did you know? Of course not, bro. But seriously, you're fucked. Wow. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.